Hello. Thanks for joining me. This is my sort of first live stream in a while since the new science update, the KSP2 came out. So I wanted to give this a shot and see how it goes. So yeah, I mean, no idea of how this is all going to play out, though to be fair I have had a brief little play around with it earlier as I was sort of getting everything set up, making sure everything's all good to go on a live stream. And so yeah, I think I'll probably stop waffling on now and jump straight into it. So let me see if this is going to work. Right, here we are in the launch screen. So as I said, I have saved up this one save I was playing around with earlier, just to make sure all my streaming setup was good to go. So I will start a new exploration mode setting, normal difficulty, campaign, Sistera, space 1, let's go. What should we go for? Okay, I kind of like blue, so I'm going to go for something along that line and turn off correct cadet orientation because I don't want page to keep showing up. Whoa, okay, don't know what happened there. Right, start campaign. So yeah, I've been watching a few other ones. Game audio is high. Hello Skeleton, good to see you here. I will go and change the settings then to try and turn it down a bit. I had noticed it before. Hopefully that's better. Let me know if it's okay for you. I might just turn that down too. Right, let's get going. Sweet. Okay, so yeah, so I obviously with the new For Science, we've got mission control, which is where we find out where all our missions are coming from now. And so I'm just gonna quickly crack on with things because hopefully hold on a sec. Yep, cool. Let me just. So yeah, so I'll just quickly build a rocket. So the first mission is super easy in that I just basically get going with a rocket to go up 10,000 meters or 10 kilometers, and go from there. So I'm just gonna crack on. Is KSP2 still a bit buggy? Yep, it's still a bit buggy, but they have made massive improvements. It's now at the point where it's basically playable. So I was having an early play around with this, and yeah, it was very much it was something where you can basically launch a rocket and fly it and not have to worry about it falling apart before you're even off the launch pad. So it's really good in that regard. I have seen there are a few little bugs, but they're the kind of things where I think they're more annoyances as opposed to sort of showstoppers. Yeah, it's probably at a good point to buy it now, and I've been watching a few streamers online lately who are kind of basically saying that they would now play it. They would now recommend this as a game you could buy. Oops. Right, let me just... Basically, okay, I'm going to see whether I can make it out of the atmosphere on the first launch. So 2,633 Delta V, so that should get me on a ballistic trajectory. And I don't know if you've seen, but it's got some really good new tools here to check how it's gonna, what the thrust weight ratio is in atmosphere, and you can actually go and customize this at the different at each different stage. So you could go and set the thrust, like see what the thrust weight and delta V is for the sort of launch from Kerbal, if it works properly, and then customize it for each different stage, so you can sort of check your staging as for each different stage of flight you're going to be in. So yeah, it looks to be pretty good, though I fully expect there's still going to be a few little bugs and things like that in as we go along. But yeah, it's just be careful. Sort of just probably make sure you're doing lots of quick saves and all of that, and before you kind of go too far. But yeah, certainly been watching quite a few streamers online at the moment, and it does seem to be they do seem to think it's really quite a playable game at the moment. So I forgot to give this vessel a name. I'm just going to go revert to VAB and yeah, give this a name, Ep.1, and if I save it, and I'll go I'm still not too sure about the workspaces and the vehicles and all of that. What I've seen is that you like each sort of vessel that you're saving needs to be in its own workspace, and then you have the different vehicle names for each workspace. What that kind of means in terms of actually building complex vessels or versus just having a roster of the ones that you've got, it kind of, I'm not too sure what it's supposed to go. But yeah, looking at it, one thing I certainly noticed now is it's really, really smooth. I have turned the Delta V, or sorry, the FPS indicator off, but yeah, it was working out really smooth for me earlier. Now this is another new thing, which is the science, and so we now have the ability to sort of see what the different science experiments or whatsoever are in this research inventory, and you can transmit it all back to Kerbal, but that will use up some power, and actually I'm going to launch, so that's going to be alright anyway. So we'll transmit that, and it takes some time, so it's not instantaneous like KSP2, but there we go. It's used up the electric charge there, but thankfully I'm going to be launching right now, So throttle is up, SAS is on by default, and I don't quite know, but sometimes it doesn't do the count. Sometimes it does count down, sometimes it doesn't, and so yeah, not sure what that's all about. So what I want to make sure is that while I'm going, hopefully on a ballistic trajectory or suborbital trajectory, I still don't want to be going too far out of the atmosphere, because we do now have heating effects, as you can kind of see. Things were blowing a little pop. Oh, there we go. 100 kilometers into above the planet, so that's all good. No, didn't mean to do that. So let's just, so yep, cool. Alrighty. So there we go. Hopefully the stream is still going well. Okay, we have another science to transmit. And here we go. Now, I am on. So, one thing about the new science, so we can see the mission tracker here. So we've met our first objective, but the thing I note with that new mission tracker and all of the missions we get, they are accepted by default, so we don't have to worry so much about whether they're accepted and not, like, so therefore there are a few, I just happen to know there are a few more missions that have popped up in the thing that hopefully we will be able to complete this time. So we shall see, and hopefully that all works out. But I don't think I need to go back to the mission center to actually accept those. So, right, what I'm going to, okay, let's set that away. I am going to go here, and because I played around with this earlier, I have to know we want to set that to about 0.1, and I've armed the parachute, because basically what I've noticed before is that setting that too low will pop the parachute quite high up. Like, I think of 0.01 will pop the parachute at about 20,000 meters, and even when it's actually going through re-entry heating and there's plasma effects going up, the parachute can still pop. But funnily enough, the parachute won't be affected by re-entry heating, which has saved my bacon a little bit in the past, because otherwise it would have totally gone bad for me. So parachute's popped out at 1,000 meters, and we are going in for a splashdown. So that's all good, all goody good. Yeah, so going really well on my very first, mission in this streaming series. So yeah, all good. Cool, vessel is recoverable. So let's go recover vessel, confirm. Interesting thing I know is theoretically there should still be some, oh no, I've transmitted all the research, so no. I don't know that this works though, because looking at it when I was doing some testing, even when it should have still had some research results in, it didn't sort of have anything up there, so I don't know what that one's about. And this good old Val, so she was the first Kerbal to go outside the atmosphere in my streaming playthrough, so that's all good. So let's go to mission control, and we go here and go submit. Okay. There's a lot of waffle in the these mission sort of reports. I started reading through some of them earlier, and they get a little bit cheesy. But in result, I get 25 science, and yeah, okay. So that's the thing. So I'm going to track that mission. Not that I think you need to track the missions. We'll just look at the mission brief. So yeah, like I say, the these little speeches from Dr. Kerry Kerman. I don't know what the deal is with that, but they seem to be a little cheesy to me. Okie dokie. Well, anyway, I guess the long and short of it is we've got to fly higher than 70,000 meters, and yeah. So we've completed that one, and now we've got the up of the atmosphere to do. So let's go back here. I will use that one. So yep, we've obviously got a bunch of stock vehicles that we can play around with, but I'll just carry on with my plain old Sistera 1, and why not launch from a different launch pad this time, just cause. Right, okay, SAS is on, throttle is up, and what do we have? This is an interesting point. It's flashes that we've got new crew observation, but they don't actually return any science. I wonder. Pots, tin can. If I do a crew observation, yeah. Experiments already in storage, so yeah. See. Through observation landed KSC. Probably should go and turn the thrust limiter down on the engine. So yeah. Kind of my objective here is pretty much to see if I can get to the point where I'm putting a vessel in orbit and safely make it back. Okay, now I'm just going to see if I go back to mission control. Yeah, can I submit that? Cool. And okay, I've got that. That's the one I want, is the buoyancy test. And if I go to the tracking station and go to control that vessel, sweet, here we go. And now if I go here, my secondary test is to land a pod in the body of water. So touch wood, that's the plan. That's going to work. Okay. All right. So let me go and look at this. So it's still coming out a bit high, so I'm going to go min pressure at 0.15 kilopascals. Right. Good, good, good. And yes, and eject that stage, and let's see. Interesting. It's still popping at about 10,000 meters. Flight report. Oh well, I don't know. Still got some work to do on tweaking the parachute deployments, I think. But yeah, cool. Okay. Cool. Yep. Oh. Now let's see what I can do here. Cool. Do I do? Why not? Invalid search location. Can I? No. Okay. Oh. I've got a feeling that there's still some... Okay. If we do this, and then I do this. Yeah, I think the science collection stuff is a little buggy. It's still playable, but certainly there's improvements they can the developers can make here. But yeah, it's a whole lot better than than what we had before, which was nothing from the science side of things, at least. But yeah, I mean, hey, it's all good. It's all good. Mission control. Let's see, what do we have now? So, we submit the buoyancy test. One thing I've learned is Kerry really likes her coffee. Yeah. Cool, cool. Okay, orbit Kerbal. That is our next mission. That's what we want to do. So, yep, cool. Let's go. Actually, no, not here. I want to go science. So, R&D. So this is the new science screen. So, yeah, we've got 4 different tiers. So 2, 3, and 4. Showing all of, basically unlocking all of the parts, especially up to these massive giant ones that we have available. But starting off, so we've got starting rocketry, which gave us all of that stuff we've seen. Now there's light launchers, so definitely got to basically go to that. As you can kind of see, there's a few different lines of research you can follow, but basically the top one, you've got to get to power launchers to unlock the next tier 2. So I've got 141 science so far. So environmental science gives us the new science junior, which is a bit different than before, like smaller in terms of size but bigger in terms of mass. Right, probes. We'll take that because this gives us a battery and solar panels as well as some antennas. That one I'll just hold for the moment. Yeah, I'll leave that one. Lights. Yeah. I'll go there. And that was the one that I really wanted. RCS. Right. You know what? Yep, I'm going to unlock that one. So that gives me the T800 Methalytes fuel tank. So a nice big one, and some landing legs, and the Mark 1 Explorer lander cams. So those should be some interesting bits to play with. But ultimately, my next goal is to get a rocket into orbit around Kerbal. So we'll just start with that. Check on the shoot. Now, deploy settings. So I'm going to go 0.2. Cool. And then I'm going to go So I don't have any that's what I should have done. There was an option to get re-entry heating. Okay. So I'm going to have to play it carefully here. So what I want to do is put a decoupler on there. That's cool. Then let me put a fuel tank on. And I'll put on the interior. So that's good. Basically my second stage. If I come back here. Right. If I put a swivel onto that, this gives me what sort of delta V? So that's 1000. Hold on a second. Atmosphere. I have 1.95. So if I put this. Second one on there. Okay. Okay. Bring that down there. And I go atmosphere. So that is sea level. Gives me 2,245. So, long story short, that gives me tons. Now, right. Let me think. If I go like that. Right. So that's good there. Yep, missing a heat shield. Okay, thrust weight's good. Total mass, yeah. I'm just going to play it safe. I could, like, especially because I don't have a heat shield, I don't want to risk it too much by putting that, by putting the Science Junior on, because that will almost double the weight of this, and I don't think that parachute would handle it. And without any extra chutes, I really don't want to take too many risks here. I'll keep the battery and the solar panel. I'll test that out to make sure it's all going to work as I hope. And we'll go. Oh no, it's just your 2, and then go. Save it as first orbit. Save. Right, okay. So let's just check the staging. So, got the swivel will launch, and that gives me 1.34 TWR. then I'll have the Terrier launch next, and that gives me 1.54. And then, yep, that brings me back down. Okay, all good, all good. Here we go. Here we go. Right. Okay. SAS on, throttle is up, and what do we have here? Yeah, it's still saying, it's still giving the zero science result for the crew observations, so I'm just going to skip that, and now we have a countdown back in. Don't know why exactly we have that now and not before, but hey, we'll take it. Okay, here we go. Off the pad. Valentina is heading up for the very first orbit around Kerbal. Beginning our rotation early off the pad. Right, let's hold it there for a moment. Okay, here we go. We are looking good, looking good. Okay. Apparatus is 20,000 meters. Okay. Alright, yeah, I was worried about that. Just easing off the throttle a bit so that we don't suffer too much heating in the upper atmosphere. Okie dokie. And we are at almost 80,000 apoapsis, so I'm just going to let right up a little bit until we probably about 30 seconds away, I think. So I'm actually just zoom up to use some what is it? Time warp? Oh, alright. Okay, full throttle. Now, the worry I guess I've got is that... No, the worry I had was, do we have enough time near apoapsis to get to orbit? And my worry is basically going away because pretty much here we are. don't want to go too much. Okay, there we go. We are there. Fantastic. We are just in orbit and woohoo! So let us see. So there's no science to be returned there, even though we had a flashing light. Now, let's just, I wonder though, if I go, we go out here like this. Okay, invalid research location. But here's the thing. If I go, let go, and then I can do the crew observation in EVA. Done. And then if I go grab and board, sweet. Okay, I am going to go to there. Of interest. Where is? Actually, yeah, that is the KSC, but it's interesting. You can't really select it or anything. Oh. Yeah. I am facing periapsis. Let's deorbit. Okay. Now, I may look to... We'll see how I go. Basically, I think I want to just burn. Yep. So that I slow down as quickly as possible. Okay, there we go. And I'll arm that shoot, and we are at 0.2 kilopascals. Okay, let's just get out of time warp and just see that go, and yeah, let's get down. Okay. The chute popped out. Oh, yep, okay. I think I'm much happier with that. And there we go. I think they've certainly made, like, the one bug they haven't repeated is the problems of with the parachutes and time warp that was in early KSP1. I know that I experienced some cases where if you went time warp as the chute was opening, or as it was splashing down, sometimes that could lead to some catastrophic results. Okay, nothing new there. Let's go recover vessel. Confirm. KSC. Okay. Mission control. Submit. Okay, cool. Magnificent magnet scientific study. What a way with words you have, Kerry. You'd almost think you could have been a poet if you weren't a scientist. Okay. Gotcha. Woohoo. So we've got a whole bunch of new ones. Mun or bust. Track that one. Going green. Track that one. And track that one. Sweet. I'm just going to hide the completed ones because they start to confuse me. Now, let's go to the R&D and we'll see what we've got. Okay, so one of the things I absolutely need is heat shields. So that's under survival. Okay, so let's do that and that. Right, nothing I really need down there. What have I got? 50. Okay. Well, this gives me the launch clamp, which could be particularly useful. These bits and pieces, and less so. But, oh well. That will then give us some of this, so that will be useful. Yep. Research that. 26. Okay. I can do basic trusses, or I can do specialized. Yeah, and that's. I got most importantly the radial decouplers and the mini and the Cepatrons. So we'll take that, and we have 11. Cool. Okay. Right. Well, people, I am going to call it there. Thanks very much for joining me on my first live stream with the KSP2 For Science update. Certainly this has gone to actually making the game playable now, so I'm really looking forward to getting my teeth into this and seeing what I can do and where we can get to. Please feel free to join me in the future, so feel free to subscribe if you want to see more of what I can get up to and make happen in KSP2. So thank you and good